Hi everybody, and welcome back to Chauvet DJ Academy. I'm Jeff Short. In this lesson, we're going to talk a little bit about fog and haze. First things first, when we refer to fog and haze, we're talking about adding fine particles to the air with machines that expel vapor into the air. The reason fog and haze are so popular in the entertainment business is because lighting looks spectacular in this atmosphere. The air particles make the beams of light visible, creating an amazing effect with your light show. You know, the use of atmospheric fog and haze in entertainment happened almost by accident. In 1981, the band Genesis was on their Abacab World Tour. The band was performing in a bull ring in Barcelona, Spain. Well, there were so many people kicking up the dust from the floor of that bull ring that the beams from the 40 moving headlights used by the band became visible, and there was an audible gasp from the crowd. The rest, as they say, is history, and we've been trying to replicate that effect ever since, successfully, I might add. One way to create a fog effect is to use a dry ice machine, which creates a thick layer of low-lying fog. But in order to make the beams of light visible in the air, you need an effect that can fill up a room, not just floor level. One of the most popular methods of doing this is to use a fog or a haze machine. So what's the difference between fog and haze? Well, the major difference between a fog machine and a haze machine is that fog machines emit bursts of thicker fog, and they do that intermittently. While fog machines do enhance lighting and make the beams visible, they're primarily chosen because of the dense, almost opaque effect produced. This usually dissipates within just a few minutes. Haze machines don't shoot out a thick cloud like a fogger does. In fact, you can barely see haze in the air. Haze machines produce a thin mist that is visible yet very subtle, and those are designed to run continuously. These machines are mainly chosen to enhance lighting effects because the effect hangs in the atmosphere for an extended amount of time. One of the biggest things to be concerned about when using fog or haze in a venue is the possibility of setting off fire alarms. The last thing you want to have to deal with on a gig is having the party interrupted by loud fire alarms, bright lights, and even the fire department showing up, all of which you could be responsible for since it was your equipment that caused the whole thing. Some say that hazers are better for not setting off fire alarms because the particles are not hot as they are coming out of some fog machines. But the reality is that particles in either type of machine have been known to set off alarms. Always, always, always check with the venue ahead of time to see if they allow haze or fog machines. Here are a few tips for getting fog and haze into your next event. First, start planning everything. Once you find out if the venue and or the city allows foggers, start scheduling, planning, and working with them in advance. Contact the city and start coordinating. Let them know how many fog machines you want to use and for how long you're planning on using them. Tell them about the type of machines you're using and that you need the smoke alarms turned off. But here's an important tip. The fire marshal will be the one to deactivate or reactivate the alarm. Don't try to do it yourself. It's illegal. Also, use only water-based foggers or hazers. Most likely, a fire marshal will come before the event to inspect the machines and to make sure the fluid is water-based. Most fire marshals won't accept oil-based ones because of the residue and safety concerns. Make sure you know the cost. A fire marshal needs to be on site for the entire duration of the event most often, and sometimes before and after when you set up and break down your rig. Of course, like everything else, this service costs money. Rates may be by the hour, so the best thing to do is to plan properly. Keep in mind, though, small events won't even bother with this because the cost of the fire marshal ends up being the same as the cost for a DJ. Also, know if your client will pay for the entire bill or if you will contribute. Sometimes you can split the bill with the client. Other times, you'll have to include it into your budget. Each event is different, and the fire marshal is never guaranteed. Also, get approvals from the venue. All foggers and hazers are capable of triggering smoke detectors due to the particles they emit. So talk to the managers of the venue to see if you need approvals from them as well. Have them sign a contract if needed, but cover all your angles. That's about it for this lesson. We'll see you right back here for your next lesson in Chauvet DJ Academy.